So contrary to popular practice, having a random storehouse of miscellaneous facts in your memory bank does not constitute by any means a higher state of consciousness. In fact, to know and not be is the highlight of stupidity. Why your world is yours. So many of these individuals, these moths, have been attracted to the light of my magnificent mind, of my magnificent philosophy, of the YWY way of being, right? Superior conduct is the only thing we actually respect over here. Superior conversation, superior jargon, we don't really respect none of that shit, because at the end of the day, getting into the work, getting the work done requires zero talking, right? So we have the conversations because we do operate from a superior comprehension, so that we can clarify for those who need clarification on subject matters that will shorten the gap between their thinking and their acting. Most people get so caught up in intellectual tennis matches with themselves. Should I not, should I, well, blah, 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 blah. What do they call it? Analysis paralysis? That they never get anything done. So, and that's really a demonstration of a low state of consciousness, because a true heightened state of consciousness is a seamless flow from being to becoming to become to being to becoming to become. There is no interruption, there is no intercession, there is no friction. Those with friction in their existence, friction in their internal processes, are those who don't have results in this life. So, why your world is yours, don't ever mistake all of these bozos and these weirdos who just hop on the internet and collect sentences and collect miscellaneous facts that they seem to not be able to put together to produce results in their life. Because at the end of the day, being enlightened isn't just for say or for display. It's to enhance an individual's existential condition. So fuck your whole philosophical message, fuck your whole philosophy, fuck your whole spiritual belief system. Sheikhy Chic said it first. Fuck all of these spiritual belief systems that don't actually increase an individual's existential competence. Existential competence is the purpose of all knowledge, enlightenment, and seeking of wisdom. The existentially incompetent, aka the physically incompetent, who are physically living in these shit boxes of bodies, these trashed out vessels. The mentally incompetent, who seem to not even be able to equate that reasoning skills exist, and the lack of reasoning skills is going to seriously afflict your existence. The lack of financial competence, all these broke dummies and these individuals who are just useless as fuck to themselves and others. So you got financial incompetence, physical incompetence, can't even do a push-up, run a mile. You got individuals who are mentally incompetent, false delusions, living off of bullshit programming. And then you have individuals who are emotionally and just basically incompetent at being themselves. You need drugs, you need substances to sort out whatever the fuck is happening under the hood that you don't want to feel, right? You need to induce some fake artificial emotions to get you through the day. See, now we're sober, we're fit, we're enlightened and rich. Why your world is yours as a philosophy. Once you step into my school, once you step into the teachings, once you step into the community, once you step into the program, you recognize that you're here to seek superior instructions. Superior instructions so that you can apply that to superior conduct. These dummies and these bozos are stuck on acquiring superior instructions, but they don't apply it to superior conduct. So they don't change their conduct. In fact, they just acquire all of these fragments and sentences and this jargon to use that as a defense against people and to defend their inferior conduct. So they'll operate at inferior conduct and use all of this jargon and all of this fucking theatrical bullshit, all this costume party spiritual, got the rocks, got the stones, got the sage, got the namaste, got the whole shit down packed. the whole act down pat, but they're not acting, they're not living, they're not being what they're supposed to be. They're not conducting themselves congruent to the values and the teachings and the principles of whatever system they're masquerading themselves in. So they use the superior jargon, instructions, as a facade to blind those who are incapable of perceiving through the bullshit, to blind people who are incapable of perceiving through the bullshit and still operate at a low level. But you can't hide what you are. So like I said, to know some shit and not be some shit is the highlight of stupidity. And many people aren't much. And many people can't even comprehend what it means to not be much or to be more, right? Why your world is yours. Existential competence. So we operate and get these superior instructions because Sheikhy Chic has a superior comprehension. And this is why a lot of people feel like he's talking down, because he's obviously at an elevated place. And if I'm at a higher state of consciousness or a higher level, and you're not at the higher level, and I'm talking to you, I am Khan with dissension, speaking from a higher place. So it's not a matter of condescension. Obviously, I'm at a higher state of comprehension. You need to understand that to get to this next level, you need to be able to be humility, humble. You need to be able to be humble. You can talk about it right now. I've been sitting on this one for a minute. People want to talk about you should be humble, humble yourself. It takes humility to increase your ability. It takes humility to be sober, fit, enlightened, and rich, transcend yourself, and help other individuals rehabilitate their souls, to get out your way and stop being a fearful, coward, little motherfucker hiding in their feelings and only accommodating their own shortcomings. It takes humility to evolve in this life, actually and factually. Now, they want to tell me to be humble. What they really are trying to tell me to do is be timid like them. Don't confuse humility with timidity. So for all my students, for all my beloveds, for all the people in the community, don't ever let them gas you into thinking that humility means timidity. They're telling you to be timid. And they're trying to intimidate you. Fuck that. Don't let nobody intimidate you, especially if you're operating at sober, fit, enlightened, and rich superior conduct, and they're just individuals who are trying to defend inferior conduct. Fuck them. Humility is the ability to actually achieve existential elevation instead of living in poverty and defending poverty. It takes humility to actually prosper in the universe, because you need to become a law-abiding citizen of the universe and stop trying to bend the laws of the universe to the laws of man or the laws of you, the individual, because your rules don't work in God's kingdom. Consider the vibrations raised. Anyway, superior instructions, superior comprehension applied to superior conduct cultivates a superior existence with who? The superior individual being at the root of the existence. So whatever why your world is yours, don't ever mistake all of these individuals who amass, accumulate an amalgamation of random, assorted, miscellaneous facts from the internet. Don't ever confuse any of that for a higher state of consciousness. If they're not sober, they're at a lower state of consciousness. If they're not physically fit, they're definitely at a lower state of consciousness. Brain health and consciousness go hand in hand. And if you're not exercising, you're definitely not getting enough oxygen or endorphins. It's a whole different science. So if they're not sober, they're not at a higher state of consciousness. If they're not fit, they're not at a higher state of consciousness. If they're not enlightened, actually and factually, and creating the most distance from erroneous conclusions as possible, they're not at a heightened state of consciousness. And if they don't have any money, if they're existentially and financially incompetent, if they're broke, they're definitely at a lower state of consciousness, because Maslow's hierarchy of needs, if an individual is hungry, all they can ever think about is food. It don't matter how artistic or whatever. If they don't have food and water and shelter, that's their priority until it's addressed. So until you actually have money, you can't talk about money doesn't matter. You're just too incompetent to solve your problem. Whatever why your world is yours. So existential competence is what we work towards. I'm one of the most existentially competent individuals on the planet. So what you do is pull up, you learn, you get the blueprint, and you begin to master your existence by increasing your existential competence in an assortment of different areas. Physically, of course. Spiritually, mentally and intellectually, scholastically, and finally, of course, financially. Whatever you are, your world is yours. Consider the vibrations raised. Are they really enlightened if they out here being mastered by the material existence, calling themselves to be higher and more above the material existence? Damn, bro, I thought material existence was so insignificant, but it seems to me that this shit is running the train on you. Whatever you are, your world is yours. Only listen to people who have existential competence demonstrated. The best education is demonstration. And this is why I will never miss. This is why I will continue to evolve. This is why you have Sheikhy Chic as a friend in your corner. And some of us just don't give a fuck about losing. All we think about is winning. Don't think about losing. Consider the vibrations raised. Evolution only solution. Get your ass on the program and stop playing around. What you gonna do? Stay less?